Yo, welcome back to my channel. And today what we're going to do is learn how to build a traffic light system. Like, obviously you could download a traffic light system from, any place on the marketplace, but we're going to learn today how to build our own, because maybe you want it in a custom shape that's not on the marketplace, right? Maybe you want your traffic light to be different. So what we're going to do is here, I'm going to show you guys how to build one from scratch. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure you open up a new project. I don't have anything here. I have like what is this, a cube here. These are a couple cubes that stretch them out, and a plane with a texture on it. So there's nothing special in my scene, but let's build a traffic light. First thing you want to do is actually let's make the shape of the traffic light that we're going to use as our static mesh. So what you want to do is, in your scene, you can add your place actors panel here, or you could just pick a shape, and we're going to add a cube here. And I'm going to close my place actors. But now what we want to do is make this cube in kind of like the shape of a traffic light, right? And we can actually make it the same size that a traffic light would be. So something like that. It's not, those things are actually really big. But anyways, what you want to do next is duplicate that cube. So let's duplicate that cube by holding Alt and dragging it where you want it to be. Let go of Alt, now it's duplicated. And let's make this one a smidget smaller. So I'm going to shrink it down like that. And then we're going to put it back into this cube. And then I'm going to drag it down here. I guess I need some more height, but about right there, because I just want it to cut into my original cube. So now what we're going to do is a modeling technique. So click on this one and then hold shift and click on this one. Turn your engine into modeling mode, and then what you can do is what's called a mesh bool. Boom, A minus B. If it's the wrong way around, just switch your operation right here and switch it to B minus A. Anyways, ours is right, so we'll leave it alone and press accept. Cool. Now you've got what we're going to use, and we can press save, and you can go back to selection mode. That's going to be our traffic light. So next thing that we're going to need to do is let's create some materials. So either you can make a whole folder for your traffic light, which that's probably the most organized way. So let's make this called traffic light. Okay. And everything that about our traffic light is going to go in here. So first thing we need to do is make a few materials. The first material will be the color of that traffic light. So we want it to be kind of yellow. That's what they usually are. So we'll call it yellow. Or we'll call it traffic light color, or light. Yeah, traffic light color. Cool. And for this one, again, go inside the material by double clicking, hold the number 3 to get a 3 vector, and hook that into your base color. Double click on that black, and now you can control the color. Now you can control the color. 1 second, I'm gonna plug in my laptop. Come on, you varmint. Yeah, I hear you. Alright, that's probably a better look anyways. Okay, cool. So we've got the traffic light color, but that's not it for the color, but I'm gonna save because we got the color. Next thing we need to do is add a little bit of roughness to it. So hold the number 1 and you'll get this parameter, and you can hook it up into your roughness. We don't want it to be too shiny like that, so we'll drag the roughness up to about, I don't know, 0.6. Sounds cool. That's too much. How about 0.4? Beautiful. And then I also want, you can put some metallic on it if you want to, but I don't want to. This is fine for me. Maybe I might tweak my color so it's a little bit more on the orangish side of the yellow. Wow. Alright. Next thing that we need to do is make all the different light colors. So the traffic light is obviously yellow, but then we need to make a new material. So right click, new material, and we'll call this light off material. Alright, so for this one, you double click into that material, again hold 3. For this we are going to leave it black. So hook that straight into your base color. Hold the number 1 to get a parameter. We're going to hook this into roughness and leave it on 0 this time. So that's cool. That's going to be our light off color. Now you could play with some more of these to get it, tweaked how you want it, but for us, that's fine. Next thing we need to do is duplicate that one. So duplicate, right click and duplicate it, and we're going to call this red material. Alright, yeah. And go into that one, change the color here to red, and unhook this by holding Alt and clicking. And then what you want to do is hold down the letter M to get a multiply. And now we can hook that into A. And what we'll do is we'll hold down 1 to get another parameter and hook that into B. And we can turn, this is the brightness right here of the light. So we're going to turn it up to, like, I don't know, something cool, like 0.45. And then you hook that into the emissive. You're going to see the bright red light. You can obviously make that go way higher, like 0.8 is cool too, because these are bright lights that are going to be huge. Alright, save, and you're done with the red material. Now all we have to do is duplicate that, so right click, duplicate that, and we're going to call this green material. And in the green material, all you have to do is double click and change the color to green. I want mine to be a little more greenish. There we go, like that. Perfect. Alright, and then the last step, obviously you could probably think of it on your own, but we have to duplicate that and make a yellow material. So duplicate that and we'll call it yellow material. And obviously just double click, go inside, and we'll change it yellow. Bow. Perfect. So now we have everything that we need pretty much to build this light. So now it's going to take a little bit of creativity. So you can actually delete this out of your scene here. Delete that. And we're going to right click and make a new blueprint class that's an actor. And we'll call it traffic light underscore BP for a blueprint. Double click in your traffic light BP and you'll get this screen here. First thing you want to do is add a static mesh. And which static mesh, you come on to the right side and you choose that. And we're going to choose the boolean that we just made, which should be at the top. So this is our traffic light right here. You see how it's open right here. Now one thing you could do is put an arrow in your scene to know which way is forward. So arrows are always cool. So this is, see that now we have to rotate our light. So let's rotate it. Alright. Arrow on the default scene. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now underneath your static mesh, what you need to do, all I did, if you didn't see, I just moved the arrow up onto the default scene because I didn't want it to be under the static mesh. It needs to tell me, which way is the X direction. It's not necessary, but if you want to work with wind and all this stuff, you might want that. Anyways, now we need to add 3 more static meshes. So they can just be spheres. So add a sphere, and we'll make the size of it 0.5. Perfect. What you want to do is add this one as the red one. So we'll add it up. Oops, don't move it to the side. Let's click turn on our. Let's add it to the top and bring it forward, just like that. And instead of sphere, we're going to call it red, because red's at the top. Alright, then we'll click on your static mesh again and add another sphere. And this time we're going to call this one yellow. So yeah, call this one yellow right here, and also make it 0.5. So we're going to make one more that's green and also make it 0.5 in scale. Now if your scale is not scaling all together, make sure you have the lock clicked on. But anyways, maybe you know that already. Keep on pulling that here. Just put them down like, like how a traffic light would be. Bop, bop. And now we just need to add the green. So click back on your static mesh, add another sphere, boop, make it 0.5. Alright, and then we need to put it in the right position here. Doop, doop. Now, they can all move up in my opinion, you know, just give it a little bit of space. Okay, once you got all the spheres here, now we need to add the materials to this thing. So compile and save everything. And sometimes if you compile and save, it doesn't save everything. So you'd have to look right down here and click that and save everything. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. But anyways, first material, we're going to color that yellow material. So I think we call that traffic light material. Or traffic light color. Boom. Perfect. Now each light really should be light off, but let's set the red one, the top one, to be on. So we'll call this red. And there it goes red, and then we're going to search for this one to be light off material, and this one also to be light off material. Perfect. Now you have a traffic light, pretty much. The only thing is it doesn't really work yet, and that's what we're about to go set up. But let's go ahead and make sure all of our spheres are named, because this last one, it just says sphere, but it should be called green. Boom. Compile, save, and next thing you want to do is let's go into the blueprint, into the event graph. And here, we have to start by, before we even get started on any code here, let's make some functions so that it makes it easier. So the first function, let's say turn green. Right? And we're going to make two more, turn yellow, turn red. But for this, all you have to do is get the green and then drag off of it and say set material. And if you want the light to turn green, then you want that green material or that green sphere to be set to the green material. And you want all the other spheres, such as the yellow, so drag your yellow out. You want that to be set material to light off material. That makes it easy. And then same thing with the red. Set material, and then you want it to also be light off material. Boop. Okay. Now that you have that one, it's going to be easy to do the rest. So we've got a turn green function. Let's have a turn yellow function. So right click, duplicate that, and we'll just call this turn yellow. Okay. And in the turn yellow one, we need to set the green to light off material, and the yellow to yellow material, and the red stays the same. Boom. Bow. Compile and save that. Right click, duplicate that, and we're going to do the turn red. And in the turn red, all we need to do is same thing we did in the yellow. So change the yellow one to light off material, and then change the red one to red. Perfect. Okay, now we've got all the functions that we're going to need. So now what we should do on the outside is let's set up a master function. So I called it a master function. I don't even know if that's a real term, dude. Like, I just made that up right on the spot. But it's like a function that's going to house those functions, basically. So watch this. This will make our light turn colors, and we're going to be able to customize it as well. So first thing is in your, event graph, right click and type in custom event. And we'll call this the light change event. Oops, I didn't mean to put the little bracket. You don't want to put brackets ever on things, and it may mess with the code. That's why I say that. But anyways, light change is what we call this custom event. So from here, what we want to do is drag off a delay, right? Because this will be the first delay. As you see in the viewport, our light is red. Usually lights go from red to green to yellow to red. So we want the first delay to happen from red to green. So back in your event graph, we'll say delay for, I don't know, let's say red light's going to last for 4 seconds, right? And then we're going to say turn green. Then you put another delay, because this is how long it's going to be green for. And I don't know, let's say 7 seconds, just so you can get an idea. And then we're going to say turn yellow. And yellow also has to have a delay after it, because this is how long it's going to be yellow for. And this delay will be, that's 7, and we'll make this one like 4. You can make the red light a little longer. But what's happening after here is you have to say turn red. Turn red. And then what we want it to do is loop all the way back to the beginning to this delay, because this is how long it's going to be red for. So let's make that red 5. But how you loop it back, I mean, some people could just drag the thing all the way back here, but I don't want to do that. Let's make it clean by calling this function here, which is called light change. So at the end of it, drag off and just type in light change. Bow. And that's going to make this whole function loop itself. Now, in order for that to start, though, because this is not going to do anything until we tell it this function to actually start. So what we'll do is we'll drag our event begin play right here. So now both of those are hooked up. And once it gets to the end of this code, it's going to start looping. It'll just go back to this and loop. So that's perfect. But one thing we didn't do is customize the times. So on each delay, we need to right click the duration and promote it to a variable. And this one's going to be called red to green. So you can call it R to G. You know, so you know it's red to green. Light. So that's red to green. That's how long that's going to be. Then for this delay, this is green to yellow. Promote to a variable. And we'll call it G to Y. G to Y. And the last one is yellow to red. So right click, promote to variable on the duration, and we'll call this Y to R. Yellow to red. Perfect. Okay, last thing is compile and save, but each one of those variables that we just promoted, I'm sorry if you can hear the lawnmower person, but each one of those variables, what we need to do is open up these eyes over here. Bow. And what that does is allow us to change them so that we can put multiple instances of this light in the world, but all of these variables be different, so we can have them on different times. So save, and you're done here. Let's test this light out. Take a traffic light, and we know which way is forward because the arrow's there. So, I mean, you wouldn't know which way is forward anyways, but anyways, drag it up here to your, you know, you can leave it just wherever you want to. I'm gonna drag mine up to these little posts here to make it look like a real traffic light. Alright. And I'll put another one right beside it. Cool. And you can also put them back here. So let's do an experiment. Let's see if the timing works. So put this one on this side and this one on this side. Okay. So on your details panel, mine is squished over here, so I'm gonna pull it out. But if you click on these lights here, you're gonna notice that it has the red to green timing, green to yellow timing, yellow to red timing. So let's make this one the same, but these two different. So this one's going to be red to green. It's going to take 7 seconds. Green to yellow is going to take 5 seconds. And yellow to red, let's say it takes 2 seconds. And this one we can say, you know, 6. I'm just putting random numbers in, y'all. You can control it however you want to. 9 and 2. Okay, save. Now if we press play, we should see the lights changing according to all the times. So let's see if we can get all the lights in the frame. Bow. Press play. And there you go, you got some traffic lights. Everything's red right now, so we're all good. So, oh, everything's turning, oh, we're green. We can go. According to their time. we'll see the yellow and the red. Beautiful. So now you have control over every single traffic light in your world, and you can put those lights inside of a custom shape or whatever you want. You know, it could be like a face with a couple of holes in it for the whatever you want it to be. But that's how you make traffic lights inside of Unreal Engine. And if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments, and we can help you with this. But other than that, I hope you have a great, wonderful, lovely day, and remember to stay creative.